Mr. Chicken, I'm your guy.
Blinking.
I'll have what Joseph has.
Look, somebody's talking about you.
This is what we call the voice of God.
Popping.
Everybody just gets to focus on you.
Grab me.
Probably not the best thing for an introvert.
I'm asking for you.
Well, I like a good chicken sandwich.
Touch me. Hi, David. Comment.
Oh my God.
Like.
You're actually an identical twin.
Push.
Maybe I'll just ask Julie to talk about what it is to be
No.
an identical twin.
Pick me up.
No, you didn't.
Shouting.
Surprise! Jeremiah, just hang on a second. I just got a text.
There's an edit for your new opening, Joseph.
I feel really honored to have been here, man.
By the way, you've done a masterful job. Seriously.
It was such a joy.
Thanks, Joseph. It's an honor.
Good on you. This was a pleasure.
I mean, you are the prime example of how to pivot in this new environment.
I wish everybody gets an opportunity to interact with Joseph Jaffe and Corona TV.
Who needs Cameo when I've got my own personal Cameo? Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Corona TV. It is the last Friday of what we would consider life as we know it. By this Friday next week, pretty much nothing will have changed. But by this Friday in 3 months' time, maybe something will have changed, but we're not really sure. Listen, I want to end this week on an absolute high. And we're going to. We're gonna be geared up. We're gonna have energy. We're gonna be raring to go. Exactly, David Libby. You're gonna get boosted today, man. This is gonna be a booster shot. You should still get your flu shot, but this is a different type of shot. Stephen Rubin is in. He's ready for his booster shot, and Bob Farnham is looking forward to this episode. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Why is this such a big episode? Why is this so important? It's important because we're falling back. Yeah, we're falling back. We're falling back into, I don't know, 100 years ago, 200 years ago. It depends. I don't know. No, we're falling back. We're changing the clocks. Very important to change the clocks so that it can get lighter earlier and darker earlier as well. But this show is all about the light. So one person who's not falling back, one person who is standing tall is a friend of the show, Mr. Scott Monty. And let me tell you, Scott Monty, heralded and hallmarked and characterized by his bow tie day that he's been sharing. We got news today that, look, Scott's a very positive guy. He's positive in every aspect of his life, but he also tested positive for COVID-19. And so we wish him well. We wish him a speedy recovery. He is a friend of mine. He's a friend of the show. And we hope that he will be fighting fit and cheering and on the sidelines of next week, which is going to be a hell of a week. Now, Scott, this has absolutely nothing to do with the price of cheese, but it actually is today Create a Great Funeral Day. So this does not include you, Scott. Okay, but it does, I suppose, tell us all to always look on the bright side of life and always remember to plan ahead. But we'll just leave that over there as well. So next week is a big week, and we got a bit of everything. By the way, why does it say Dave Brock? It should not say Dave Brock. It should say Renee Huey Lipton, who is one of my favorite people in the world. She's going to be on the show on Monday. She is going to be on the show at a special time of 12. On Tuesday, on Election Day, we've got Will Haskell. Will Haskell is one of the Democratic Party's brightest and rising stars, and he represents the Senate here in Connecticut, and he's going to be coming onto the show on a day that he is up for re-election. The day after the election, when we're all hungover, literally and figuratively, the guru, Lodro Winsler, is going to come in and teach me and teach us all and conduct a group meditation exercise. And then on Thursday, we've got my friend Wesley Faulkner. I haven't seen him. I would have seen him at South by Southwest. He's going to be in the studio. And then finally, we'll end the week with Moshe Engelberg, who's going to talk to us about one word. It's a 4-letter word, Love, about love. And that's how we're going to end the week. It's going to be a week of hope, positivity, optimism, but also justice and activism, and and being proactive and standing up and having our voices heard and exercising our incredible right to vote. Although I think by election day there'll probably be no one left to vote, because everyone will have hopefully voted already, and hopefully all those votes will be counted. But enough about that. Let's talk about Jon Burkhart. Let's talk about the man who is a virtual MC, a Firecracker questionnaire, and a Beernote closer. And I have absolutely no idea what two of those three things mean, but by the end of today, we will all find out together. So let's wish a few people happy birthday. Let's wish happy birthday to David Spark and Mordecai Lightstone and Nikki Van Zale, and of course, my cousin, Susie Perkins Lyons. Sousa, happy birthday to you. Have a great day, everyone. And then, of course, people on LinkedIn, Jose, Adriana, Jessica, Ivan, Rupesh. Have an amazing day, guys. Well, let's get to our seated soliloquy. And today, the seated soliloquy probably has everything and nothing to do with my guest. Because, when we talk about the show going on, show must go on, a little bit of Freddie Mercury for you. And when we think about moving events to virtual, I suppose it has everything to do with Jon. But today is actually something else. It's an idea that I had yesterday that I actually believe could save Broadway. Now, unless you've been sheltering in place under a rock, you'll probably be very familiar with the absolutely stunning move by the musical Hamilton to stream their epic show via Disney+. I still can't believe that I didn't have to pay a penny more than the $12.99 that I was already paying because I have a Disney, Hulu, ESPN bundled subscription. But it hit me. Why on earth is every single Broadway or West End musical play not doing the exact same thing right now? Now, part of the answer clearly is that Hamilton had obviously recorded this before the pandemic hit. But how hard would it be to do something similar right now? Practically, it would probably require some rehearsals and practice sessions to dust off the cobwebs, which I can't imagine would be terribly hard to do, even with Zoom lag. So the only barrier would be, that COVID thingy. Well, last night, I finally watched the season premiere of The Bachelorette. And with the help of La Quinta or Motel 6, a Greyhound bus or two, a 14-day period of quarantine, and a bunch of COVID tests, surely it would be possible to create a bubble or safe passage that would culminate in a curtain call and an encore. It's not like the cast and crew have anything better to do with their time these days, sadly, regrettably, unfortunately. Now, whether this is done in partnership with a streaming platform or even independently, can you imagine giving the entire world access to Broadway using a premium pricing model, a la carte or subscription, and an optional tip jar? Think GoFundMe meets Patreon meets pay-per-view. If every Saturday night I was treated to Moulin Rouge, Dear Evan Hansen, or Les Mis, would $50 be a fair price to pay? You betcha. Now, multiply that by a conservative 10,000 seats per week from a global audience, instead of the 4,000 average capacity and an average ticket price of $122.73 per ticket. I did the math. You've just created a perfect revenue replacement. Now look, it's entirely possible someone else has already thought of this. As Ian Pritchard said earlier this week, creativity is recombination. Either way, I don't care. It's time to execute. The show must go on. Well, I wonder what you guys think about that idea. I think it's a big one. I honestly think that is a huge idea. And I believe it's something that could very well save Broadway. But before we get into that, let's just see who's been commenting while I've been giving you my little diatribe. Well, we've got Jason Miller, who, if I'm reading correctly, just said, Burkhart! I hope I got the accent right. And Jan Zlotnik says, yay, an extra hour of 2020. Yes, Tom, we've been falling back every year. All year. Scott Monty's here. He said, I see what you did there. And thank you for the kind wishes. You're very welcome. We wish speedy recovery, Scott. And thank you for sharing. It's important, for people to connect and communicate, right? There's still people running around out there that have never come into contact with someone, who don't really know someone firsthand who has had COVID. Jason says, hang in there, man. So it's just amazing to see everybody's comments. Tom says, I want Joseph Jaffe to host my funeral live on Corona TV 30 years from now. Let's say 32 or 33 years from now. So I appreciate, oh my God, the comments. Stop the comments. Knowing Joseph is watching The Bachelorette makes me feel less guilty about bringing Gilmore Girls now ending season 6. I can read Plato later. All right, enough of you guys. Let's bring on the man himself. Let's bring on my guest. And you know what? There's going to be so much energy and so much incredible enthusiasm today that I'm not actually going to do a boring open. Instead, I'm going to play you the man's sizzle reel.
I'm Jon.
Jon is probably the most American I've ever met in my entire life.
Hi, Jon.
I'm from TBC London.
I help people make better content.
What I'm about to do is talk about myself. Oh, I wrote a book, whatever.
Yes.
This is an absolute world first. I've committed all of these sins for brands, for helping create this what is called brand spam. I want you to throw as hard as you possibly can. Go! Damn.
And I didn't realize it.
Oh, wow, who did that? Who did that? I've got 2 balls left. Who wants them? When brands shout, people switch off. The whole problem with brands is they keep talking about themselves.
Can't stand that.
That's just terrible.
Being a mother is trendy, and eBay tells you why.
My brief is use social media and do something topical because you're into that. This is what I do for brands. I build these things called newsrooms.
You guys have got to be fast, fearless, and flexible if we're going to make this thing happen in the next 25 minutes.
The smart brands are actually figuring out what people want and finding ways to reach them in an authentic way.
Do not get that image out of your mind.
99% of people learn more through interactive play and games.
15 minutes starting now. So this is my framework. We have a chance to really feel the pulse of our customer and actually even predict what they want by looking into this data.
I can get people excited about learning in a different way. And I've found that the penny drops quicker and we can get to the pub quicker and talk about how we can really change things.
Was that too fast for you?
What the hell have you just done with your head?
Oh man, I get so nervous talking to somebody like you, Joseph, that I feel like I'm gonna lose my bottle opener. So it's always here somewhere. How you doing?
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, and you have wait a second. You're starting drinking already?
Yes, I am indeed. But I wanted to start off slow because I need to sound like I know what I'm talking about. So this is 0.5%. Brooklyn make a very nice special effect.
So wait, you're bamboozling me already. You're a man from Tennessee, is that right?
Born and bred, Memphis, Tennessee. Thank you very much.
Memphis, Tennessee, and you're living you're living in the UK somewhere.
I have lived in London for 20 years, and they've made me cynical and ard. I've just dropped an H for you.
Yeah, and you sound half Canadian and half Irish, in my opinion. So your accent has been completely messed up. You know that.
I didn't get the whole Canadian thing, except for in the green room before you said that Canadians say a lot, and I say a after everything because I just want to be loved.
Yeah, you said A, and Canadians are very loving people. Now, in that video, did I see Dimitar Berbatov? Was that Berbatov?
Oh my God. Yes. Thank you, Tottenham fan. We're going to go bash the Spurs within the first 2 minutes. Yes, that was Dimitar. He is a blessed man. Oh my, I just can't believe I said blessed man and went like that. He is such a joy to work with. At first, we were like, we have 5 minutes and we're not even supposed to be here. This is a reckless thing. And my guy, Kevin, said, we just need to make this fun and interesting. And he had done his research, which is crucial because I know a lot about you, Joseph. He was like, do you have a Godfather impression? Dimitar Berbatov, no word of a lie. I don't care what you think about footballers not being smart. His Godfather impression was flawless. I love the man. He's brilliant.
Phil McIntyre, by the way, is here, and he said, I was born in Memphis. You see, I know Phil, and I didn't even know that. So, I'm finding out about you. But look, let's talk about the real stuff about you. Jon Burkhart, you, my friend, are a troll. I called you. I've also done my research on you. I know that you were born a troll. So do you want to tell people why I'm calling you a troll?
I would think because of urgent genius. It's the greatest thing about me and the worst thing about me, which is whatever's in front of me. Like you, Joseph Jaffe, are my Mr. Right now. You weren't my Mr. Right last week. You're my Mr. Right now. So I got so excited about your show that I have been stalking you for literally 7 days, commenting on every platform, trying to get a little word in, doing something long and unfunny in hopes that it will connect with you or someone. So yeah, I apologize for my behavior. But whoever my Mr. Right or Miss Right next week, they're going to get the same treatment. I get really excited. I go full on and then I bolt.
Eat, shoots, and leaves. Okay,
that's a book. Eats.
I know. It's a children's book. It's about a koala bear.
It is indeed.
But so you call that idea Mr. Right or Miss Right or Mrs. Right? That I mean, it is so elegant and sublime that you would do your homework in advance of going on a show, or quite frankly, is it any different to a client meeting as well, that you've done your homework, that you've actually taken the time to understand everything about, the platform that you're about to go on? I mean, and yet most people don't do that. People don't do that.
They don't, which shocks me. And I think this has been a real challenge for you. And I hate to blow smoke up someplace, but you're not able to focus on me. You're not able to focus on me until this morning because you were focusing on Matthew Sweezy, who's a freaking legend. Yesterday, he had his slot. I don't know how you've been able to make everyone feel important, because everyone really only gets a day of your time if you're going to do a daily show. That's what I'm imagining Jon Stewart and Jimmy Fallon would say to you. But they have teams. I feel like, other than wife and 2 boys, I don't think anyone's helping you with this. So I have to applaud you. I might even cheers you, even though you're not drinking.
Yeah, but first of all, you forgot my daughter, so you haven't done all your homework. But second of all, I have multiple personalities, so I actually am an entire team of people. So that's another thing you didn't know about me. But let me tell you, Tom Morris says Jon is now my favorite obsessive maniac right now, at least until next week. And guess who's here right now? Mr. Mark Masters is here. Good evening, all. Let's have it.
Speaking of obsessive maniacs, Tom, you should meet Mark. That guy's mental. He's off the hook. I can calm down and breathe thanks to therapy.
By the way, is Mark Masters the reason why we know each other?
He is indeed. I mean, I was stalking you from across the sound times, but as far as a meaningful connection, Mark said you have to, because
we blame him. We're going to blame him. Okay. All right. So I have done my homework thanks to you helping me as well. So there are so many fun facts about you that I'm not really sure where to begin. So let's begin here. Let's begin. I mean, I hope you're not. This isn't bringing back sad memories for you, because you were a champion speller and one word away from making the National Spelling Bee, which would have been a dream come true because you would have been on ESPN. And there you are.
And I blew it. And I blew it. Goodbye, John. In fact, that's painful for me to even say. It was a word, because I know you're going to ask, it was a word that I had in my spelling test 3 weeks prior. And it was a Spanish word. And it's the easiest Spanish word known to man to spell.
Paella.
Yes. Yeah, no. Two-year-olds know this. How would you and do it like a proper spelling bee? Say the word, then spell it, then say it again. That's etiquette. Joseph Jaffe, your word is adios. You can ask for a definition if you want as well.
You mean like adios, amigo? Adios.
Spell it.
A-D-I-O-S. Adios.
Who would put a U in it? Who?
Yes.
What idiot? What idiot would put a U
I
in
got
it?
it?
No, you got it. I failed. I failed my dad. I failed my mom. I failed my family.
Oh, man. Well,
I'm a
guess
writer.
what?
I'm a writer because of it, though.
Today, you're going to have redemption because I have 3 words for you. We're going to start off somewhat easy and then get a little bit more complicated. Your first word is jodhpurs. Jodhpurs. Pants for horseback riding that are full through the hips, fit closely from the knee to the ankle, and typically have a strap under each foot. Jodhpurs.
This reminds me of Mark Schaefer and Tom Webster's thing where they created jodhpurs for brands. They called them Snap Chaps. And it was like Snapchat chaps. So I've got an image of Mark on a horse. Jodhpurs, P-U-R-S. Oh no, you have to consult a dictionary. Oh, don't tell me I got that wrong. I'm not really good with horses.
Boring. You're boring, everybody. Quit boring everyone.
Move on.
I don't have. No, it's actually Jodhpurs.
You saw me fiddle with the H, and I almost put it there, but I got nervous.
So I'm just going to go straight through to word 3 because I don't want to inflict any more pain. The word is zillal. Zillal. It's a noun. Any of several isomeric radicals, each with a valence of one that is derived from the 3 xylenes by the removal of a hydrogen atom. Zillal.
There's some extra syllables in your South African pronunciation there that I would actually speak to the judges and I would ask someone else to say the word because you do have that right. But that's rude because it's your show. Zillals. Zillols. Zillals.
XYLYL. Zillal.
That is not a word. Is that really a word?
It's a real word, and I got it from the Spelling Bee PDF or something online. So basically,
Can you put that back up? I want to screen grab that. That's incredible.
Of course.
Oh my God. Scrabble is our gig, man. I am nailing that. Okay, go for it.
Can you even do that word on Scrabble? Yeah, they're 2 Ys, right? 1 X, 2 Ys, 2 Ls, Zillal.
Oh yeah. Let's see if in the comments, how many points is that worth, callers? So the first person to tell me how many points that worth gets a Constant Curiosity trophy.
Oh wow. I mean,
and a complimentary ball.
Tom is saying it's like a new cuss word. By the way, by the way, Leslie is suggesting that spelling bees should be a weekly feature of Corona TV. I will tell you one thing. I want to be able to throw balls at my clients and at my audiences from now. I love that idea.
You know, it's really therapeutic until you get knocked off your pedestal and you can't breathe. Because I used to go with the small hard balls, and then these young people, they're called students in this country, they pegged me so hard that I got dizzy and I had to sit down and I wasn't able to finish the keynote.
Hang on, so you owe Scott Monty a prize. That's 18 points.
I love Scott Monty. I tried to subtly ask for a ride to Detroit at the last Content Marketing World, but I was way too intimidated by his intellect and his bow ties. So I got a ride with someone else. So yes, I will come to Detroit if you're still there, Scott, and I will have many a gift. And I hope you feel better.
Yeah, certainly. We all do. So we've just got one more little fun fact about you, and it's actually connected, I guess, to Mark Masters as well. Although Stephanie Zito is saying 12, so we have a difference of opinion. I don't know whether maybe Scott was on a double letter score or something like that. We're gonna have to go to the judges on that one.
I would like to give prizes to both, because Stephanie used to work for me, and I've known her for 30 years, and we work in the world of travel, and guess what COVID did to that world? So I need to give Stephanie some money.
Well, there you've got a Leslie Laredo word that clearly reflects the fact that she does not know how to play Scrabble, because I'm fairly certain you can't have a word that is, unless they're two words, right, that you put it, but you still can't, right?
Leslie, correct me if I'm wrong, but she's playing the pharmaceutical version of Scrabble where anything goes.
The pharmaceutical, exactly.
I think she does work in pharma.
Scott says he'll pick you up from the airport. All right, so
yes, thank you.
Here is an absolutely shocking bit of news about you. You've never seen one James Bond movie. I mean, you cannot even get into the UK without quoting at least one line from James Bond. How on earth? Well, you are an absolute fraud and an imposter.
Completely and utterly, I am guilty of all of those things. I will tell you, all of my family, 9-year-old, 14-year-old wife, not a 14-year-old wife, there's a comma there. They've seen loads. It's a big thing to watch him at Christmas. Did you know that? Like everyone, like that's what you do. And I have just said no. I've just really tried to stay strong. In the same way that Mark Masters has stayed strong against Friends, I'm just like, I don't want to go there. I don't want to break my streak. And I will. It's a part fib, because we watched like the highlights of him in film school. We had a little film class in grad school, so they basically gave me the formula. And because my brain doesn't like to know what's about to happen, I just think I'm not interested. I know what's going to happen. It's a formula. I don't like formulas, as you can tell. I had a freaking thing strapped to my head when you came onto the call.
I mean, you certainly walk the talk by saying I don't like formulas, but here's what I'd like to initiate you into the world of James Bond. In your best Sean Connery accent, I would like you to be able to say, do you expect me to talk? All right, so I want you to practice a bit, and then I want you to give that to me, and then I will feed you back the line, and you will be initiated.
I shouldn't be stroking a cat. Is that Austin Powers? That's not the right one, is it? Yeah, that's
no. It would be Spectra, and it would be part of it. But you're you're the good guy in this one. I'm the bad guy.
Okay, good. Okay. Oh God, I forgot my line. Do you expect me to talk? Yeah, got it. Okay.
All right, go for it.
Do you expect me to talk? Oh, that was horrible.
Oh, Mr. Burkhart, I expect you to die. Okay, there you go. You're initiated, my friend. We are having fun, and we haven't even discussed the thing that you're known for, which is content. But I think what you're delivering in that, you little Jedi mind trick, you're delivering the context of content, aren't you? I don't even know what I just said.
I do. Well, my interpretation of that would be that the reason I like being invited is because I, as I said earlier, just want to be loved. But when I come into the content strategy, like we don't know what we're doing here, and we've heard of this shiny thing, I like helping people relax and understanding like why would people even care. So it does go back to Simon Sinek's Start With Why. I love being the opener for any strategic conversation about why they should make content and who it should go to, because that's just really exciting, rather than just being, in the old days when I was more junior, just being told to execute this crazy idea for these people who don't care and put it on TikTok and no, not TikTok, that didn't exist. Put it on Twitter and Facebook.
We're going to break many formulas today, and instead of calling you the founder of TBC Global, which I assume is a very competent company that does competent things, I kind of preferred the idea of virtual MC, Firecracker questionnaire, and Beernote closer. Let's start off with the first one, shall we?
Yes, we shall. Yeah. So it wasn't virtual all that often, since I feel like this is about hope and optimism. I can be honest with you. I was previously a in real life MC, and it was always a value add because I would also always do a speech as well, whether it was a opening or closing keynote. But I love being Mr. Transition. Transitions can be awkward, but I love trying to resurrect the room if they've lost someone who got way too bullet pointy in their slides. I like trying to make them feel good at the end. So I'm the in-between guy, and I love being able to keep the energy high in a room. And while I don't have any special talents, I am insanely curious. I think that was Einstein, but I am actually working on special talents. I've got a ukulele just right there. And I like to say I like to be at least 2 or 3 years behind people who are great at this, like Andrew Davis, like Jay Bear. I'd like to try my best to stay at least 2 or 3 years behind them. And that makes me feel good, because I think I am genuinely several years behind both of them.
Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, right?
Do you know that plaid doesn't work for me? Like Jay's plaid, he can do plaid because plaid, like I have Memphis Grizzlies colors. That is all I do, plus black because of my Wolves team. But yeah, plaid is him. But plaid, I don't even think you tried it. I remember you tried to wear plaid on the Jay show. I'm not sure it went over that well with him.
Did I wear plaid?
Do you wear plaid?
Did I? I don't think
I think you tried. I think maybe you were making a joke, but I definitely because I listen to you on audio a lot. That's the thing. I listen to you while I'm cooking.
You can't hear plaid. I mean.
You made a joke about his suits. I'm pretty sure you tried it on.
We also had a whole conversation about DMT, ayahuasca, and psychedelics, and so I suppose you can hear plaid. But
Oh, yeah.
Jon, the common theme here, right, in terms of the life that was, the life that is, the life that will be, is all about one word, and that word is energy. And you actually asked me this question when we were like in our green room. You said, "What's your energy?" I think you said, "What's your energy level?" Or what was the word you used? Did you say energy?
Yeah, I just said, how are you feeling energy-wise, scale 1 to 10? I always do that for my audience, because then I know what I have to start from. And also keep in mind, I don't get your dry sense of humor yet. I'm learning it. But I swore that you were in San Francisco yesterday, and I'm just gullible. So you had a red eye to get home for me. Thank you.
Gullible, Gull.
Nice.
But how important is, what lessons, what learnings, what are you finding in this virtual world now, where people are really, really suffering from Zoom fatigue? How do you bring your A game? How do you bring the energy to this flat? And this is not flat,
This is how I do it. Keep in mind, Corona TV episode.
This is a family show. This is a family show.
No. I'm wearing trousers. Here we go. The key thing is, because I've been stalking you for years, we've just met. I actually think one of the only people on your show that wasn't offensive in his positioning was Andrew Davis. Because if you noticed, he has nice little bow ties. But he started, keep in mind, you, me, and Mark Masters saw Drew Davis do his thing with his 3-camera switchy thing, which is like a genius. And again, I'll try that in 2 or 3 years when I catch up. But your beer's arrived. Awesome. So I just think, how often are you this close to people that you hardly know? I just think Zoom fatigue is because we just keep looking at our spots. Look, I have a spot on my forehead there. This is too close. I think we should all just back the frick up. Don't you think we can just, because look, I can gesticulate and you don't need to see me that close. Medium shots are great. And then when you need to really slow down and say, I love you, Joseph, then you can be here. But more than likely, this is fine. Do you not agree? Because I just think people are fatigued of looking at themselves.
I do agree. I do agree. And, one of the things I've been trying to do, but again, due to the incredible staff that I have on retainer, I've been look, my beer has arrived actually. I'm not even joking. And it's not even a Corona, by the way. It's not even a Corona.
How much did they pay you? They're sponsoring the show, I assumed.
Well, ironically, Corona internationally is owned by the same company that owns Michelob, but they don't own Corona in the US. So trying to get a sponsor from Corona and AB InBev is hard because they apparently are not very US friendly. So we'll go ahead and promote Michelob. Should I open my beer?
You should. I'm going to promote this. Chad Dick showed a thing from BrewDog where they made BrewDog hand gel. BrewDog is one of my favorite brands. It's a Scottish brand, as you know, and they are so anarchic, and they just basically They basically are one of those Maverick Challenger Rebel brands that make me think that they know their customer and they keep them on their toes.
All right, so let's recap on the virtual MC thing.
Yeah. I had a spill. Oh man, I had a spill.
Can't make it up. Cannot make it up.
Oh man.
Which is why I prefer to sit and stay calm and very zen with you.
I had a spill and I'm clean. This is meta for you. I'm cleaning the spill with my beer Halloween costume. That's meta. Go for it. Sorry, you were saying wrap up.
You're telling me to wrap up?
No. You were saying wrap up the virtual MC so we can move on to something.
No, I was just saying the idea of variety, whether it's camera angles, whether it's standing up, whatever gives you energy, that to me is part of the fact that if you're not, look, let me reframe your paraphrase of my précis, which is you got to mix it up, period. You got to mix it up, however you do it. For me, it's back, it's all my backgrounds. It's being in San Francisco and then miraculously 12 seconds later, being on the set with Trevor Noah. Got to mix it up.
Genius. No, I totally agree. And that's why when you're doing these workshops or these keynote speeches, like, can I get your opinion on something? And you may think I'm an idiot, but I'm just going to go for it. What do you think about you doing your next workshop with this is Joseph Jaffe, hey, good to meet you guys, and then being like, this is just a little something I made for you earlier, and then you go to your neighborhood community center that has a stage, and you perform on a stage with several cameras. You don't have to wear a mask because it's just you in the hall, and then you play them that. I just don't want the next year to be me sitting on my backside when I can do this at the top and tail of any show and create a connection emotionally if I have to get up in your grill or not. We got a little seesaw thing going. Wow. Anyway, do you think that you would take the time, or do you think, John, you're an idiot, to just go record yourself even though the client didn't ask for it? Because I just think you as a speaker would really enjoy that more, and it would be more impactful to be able to say, I'm medium, I'm wide, I'm Andrew Davis whiteboard. Oh my gosh, I'm actually performing in this amazing arena. I'm walking my dog and talking to you.
I mean,
I just don't want to do Zoom for the rest of my life. I just don't want it.
Well, I have a simple answer, John. You're an idiot. But in a
nice.
But yeah, look, again, it's also about experimentation. And I'll tell you something that I love how creative we can be within sometimes what we think are confines, but they're not. I love this idea that says, I don't mind a tight frame or framework with guidelines and guardrails, as long as you allow me to operate liberally within that framework. And then I'll have fun. Sometimes it's good to be able to have those borders and boundaries, but the ability to mix it up inside, we can do anything. That's why I'm going to have a magician on the show probably in December. And I've had singer-songwriters performing, and I even experimented with a cappella. It's beautiful. You know, William Charnock did a tarot reading. I mean, it's just fantastic, all the things we can do.
I love it. I think the variety that you've already achieved, I didn't know about the magician. I'm happy about that. But the variety has been great. And how did you get Macy Gray and Jamal Mashburn? And I mean, these are just friends of yours, I guess.
I'm the talk show host, damn it. You know,
I set you up, man. That was literally a softball lob for you to say, John, I'm a bit of a big deal.
I'm Joseph fucking Jaffe. I'm huge on Twitter. I own a poop emoji shirt.
Well, I will tell you this, Joseph Jaffe, and you can't even fight me on this one. I am Jon Burkhart, and I am a bit of a big deal in the Balkans. And I bet you've never even spoken a former Yugoslav republic.
I mean, I think Dimitar Berbatov might be a Balkan, but
he is indeed.
He was, but in all seriousness, he was Bulgarian or Romanian or Transylvanian, or just a traitor for going to United. I forget, or Tratorian. I think he was Tratorian.
Complete traitor. Oh man, things were all downhill after that.
All right, so this is exactly why your entire awesome, ridiculous presentation that you prepared for this. Talk about over preparing. You're not even going to get close to it. But maybe you'll share it with us in the after show, because now we move on to the second part. This is how you can do an entire show based on nothing more than just a title.
As long as I'm getting to make things nice and not be a ball hog, I'm good.
Firecracker questionnaire. Sorry, it's not a questionnaire. Survey Monkey questionnaire. What is a firecracker questionnaire?
So in this country, we have this thing called Bonfire Night. It's coming up next week.
Guy Fawkes, right?
Yeah, Guy Fawkes. Yeah, that's the guy. So we in this country celebrate a guy that almost blew up Parliament. That's just how we roll. But he didn't get to blow up Parliament. They got him. So now we celebrate that things not blowing up. Firecrackers are amazing. However, when used like the teenagers are using them tonight, they're kind of dangerous. I love it when something can be equal parts dangerous and delightful. Through a series of questions, could I somehow demonstrate a firecracker question to you? Well, I think you need to stop thinking about the firecracker definition, and you need to think about the slang definition. Could you give me your best guess of the slang definition of a person who would be called a firecracker? Have you ever heard of a person being called a firecracker first?
Yes, it's okay. And you want to know what? You want to know, like, for me to describe
what is a firecracker? A person who's a firecracker, what are they like?
A firecracker is just a dynamo, enigmatic, full of beans, full of life, full of energy. You never quite know what's going to come out of their mouths. They're explosive. They're, should I keep going or?
No, you did.
Was I wrong? Firecracker.
You look bad.
Firecr. Okay.
You're making me look bad because you basically there was several things I was hoping that you would hit, and you hit them all.
First, I know. Jon Burkhart, firecracker.
Yes. Oh, I'm going to throw a ball at you for that. That's good. A firecracker is someone who's very extroverted. They feel comfortable breaking social rules and, wait for it, speaking their mind. In other words, I would venture to say that a majority of the 141 people who've been on your show have been firecrackers because they make a more interesting discussion. Would you not say that you've had a lot of firecrackers?
Except the introverts.
Oh, you've had a lot of introverts.
They
can play the role. They can play the role of a firecracker.
Right. I regard myself as an extroverted introvert. I've had learned extroverts, but yeah, I mean, listen, so a firecracker is an extrovert, right?
Yes, but the thing that you mentioned was about speaking their mind. They're an extrovert, but they're also They say things that other people would hesitate saying, and they do things that other people would think twice about doing. And I hate to admit it, but I think brands to stand out in 2020 have to be more like that, because if they don't stand out and do something that other people would think twice about, we just don't care. It's just wallpaper.
For sure. Now, you've come up with 3 types of Firecracker questions.
Yes, I have.
And if you wouldn't mind, give us some examples of them. So the first is purposeful firecrackers.
Yeah. So keep in mind, I have a short memory, and so I've had to come up with an acronym. So POP, because firecrackers pop. So the first P is purposeful, and again, let's imagine we're brainstorming for the Memphis Grizzlies. They've rebranded. They used to be Grit and Grind, and now they're Next Gen Grizzlies because they got all these young rookies and they're tearing up the league. So we're going to rebrand them. We need to start off with what is their purpose in Memphis, Tennessee, because Memphis can be sometimes a bit of a not as cheery of a place. They are the lifeblood of that town. We would start by asking all these questions about the people who go to Grizzlies games. What purpose does this have in their life? How do they even go? Are they season ticket holders? Well, the reality is a ton of them aren't season ticket holders. They go game to game when there's a good deal. So we have to know everything about the different type of Grizzly fan and what their purpose and where Grizzlies fit into their lives. That's just, it's almost like doing your homework, like Simon Sinek says, starting with why. Why does this team exist in the customer's mind? So we could have so much fun with that brainstorm alone, but it would be a lot of why related questions about the customers. That's why Firecracker, to get to this thing that's has a little bit of controversy and spark to it, we've got to go deep into why those Grizzly fans, where Grizzlies fit in their lives.
Okay. That's
the first time. Purpose. Oh man, observation. Cool. Thank you. It feels like a trivia quiz. So observation is, so now we figured out our focus is fans who go game to game, depending on what kind of deal. Do you get free beer and nachos? Okay, I'll go for that sort of snack pack game. So we know that they're game to game based on the deal. We know where they frequent. We know that they always get the coupon and they hope to go to a crappy team. So the Grizzlies will win and they'll get their free Chick-fil-A, because that's kind of a big deal. So we now know, we literally go through their entire customer journey asking, well, what if they did, why? So those questions are observations about their behavior. So that is more how, what, and when. And if we've done the why, the purpose, and then we've gotten down to the how, what, and when, then guess what comes next? Exactly. It's literally written on your screen. It just popped up. Playful. Then we get my special recipe, Kentucky Fried What If. I love saying, well, what if we provided bouncy castles in the parking lot of the games versus the Lakers and the games? And what if we somehow got these game to gamers to go to the big games, because we made it an experience where they bring their kids. All kids go free, by the way, because that's what game to gamers need. So I just have fun with sponsors. The magical thing about Playful is it brings in a whole world. In the green room afterwards, Johnson's gonna pop in. She's getting her hair done, but she's gonna pop in without a video. In the green room, I'm gonna show you some examples on Zoom of these exact Playful combinations. Because of COVID, there are brands that are partnering with insane partners that pre-COVID didn't make sense. But now that everyone's living in their front rooms like this, you know, if the fans like both of them, let's just get in bed together.
So I want to ask you a question. You said you were a Firecracker questioner. Do you need to be a what is the Firecracker component? Is it the questionnaire? Is it the questioner, or is it the question? Or do you need to be a questioner to ask a Firecracker question?
No, that's a good point. So it is, it's the whole process of the brainstorm of going through the purposeful, observational, and playful. That is what I call Firecracker curiosity. I want to teach everyone to be a firecracker questioner. I genuinely do, because I think we sit on the fence and worry about what would the hippo do in the room? What would the highest paid person do? And if the highest paid in the room person would say, we've never done that before, and that feels a bit uncomfortable because of compliance and legal things and this. Like, let me give you an example that I'm not going to talk about in the green room. Oh my gosh, in Slovakia, it's illegal to go to hockey games and have beer. I'm sorry, you can't do it. Joseph, you're not going to be able to do it. You cannot take your beer into a hockey match. So what did the brand do? They had plastic bottles that were whistles. They looked like beer bottles. To blow the whistle, guess what action you have to do? I'll demonstrate it.
You'll probably mess on yourself.
It basically looked like 30,000 people were drinking beer all the time. It was beautiful on the telly, and they did it totally for the TV, which in the time of COVID, obviously all we have is a TV.
And there was it was a Slovakian version of a vuvuzela. How about that?
Oh, that is horrible. Those vuvuzelas, my mom will never talk to me again. I took her to the very first MLS game in Dallas, and it was a vuvuzela night, as it always is there. And oh yeah, she'll never forgive me. Those things are really irritating, by the way, but I love them.
All right, so you speak about these interesting facts and these interesting questions and these data points and being able to what if, but to me, this connects to something that we'll just touch on very, very briefly, which is joy, which is humor, which is laughter. And you said fact, normally people laugh about 18 times per day, and 97% of that time we're laughing with others. We are 30 times more likely to laugh with others than to laugh alone. And then you follow that up with this idea that you want to calculate how many laughs per week Corona TV Week has produced and get your opinion on which guest has the highest LPS rating, which is laughs per show. So, clearly, what's going on here?
Okay, so what basically, I love the fact that your promo trailer changes. If someone's going to do it literally every day for 5, 6, 7 months, wherever it's been, then you're going to have to freshen that thing up. And like you had my man Mark Schaefer on, and there was some like Schaefer like guffaws, and those went straight in the promo. I just think if you're going to be this generous and no offense, selfless with this show, then you need to be honoring the people that bring the noise. Like Mark makes me sick sometimes because he's so clever. Like his laptop sticker thing, I'm sorry, but I think that's profound. Do you know what it would take for me to put a sticker on my laptop? I work in coffee shops pre-COVID. If I put a sticker on there, I'm gonna have to freaking love that. I mean, that is a fan. That is the definition of fandom, is laptop stickerism. It is, and I love that. And you bring out these little nuggets in people. I'd never heard that from Mark. Well,
I have a new promo which I was gonna debut next week in time for the election. So you want to see it?
Oh my gosh, can we?
Yeah.
Oh, guys, this is a world exclusive right here on Corona TV. This is the brand new trailer. I cannot wait. Will it feature Scott Monteith's elbows? We shall see. He might have gotten.
Am I being overconfident? Am I becoming complacent about complacency?
I think you are.
Oh, he's not the Messiah. He's just a very naughty boy.
Yeah, I've got big ears.
Brian just wanted to see anyone now. Piss off!
That's the one, because you literally complete me, and we complete each other.
You've obviously encountered discrimination in your own life by virtue of being Australian.
Hey, Manuel Kant was a real pissant who was very rarely stable.
I don't want to get too gushy, but I might just be saying you complete me, Dean. P&G now stands for Pritchard and Good.
Branding is not a bad blind date.
Look at you!
You are insane.
How did I do that?
You're
How did I do
insane.
that? What do you
Look
think?
at you. You're insane. Oh, I'm so glad that stayed in. Freaking love that.
I get so much joy from this, and it's going to be really hard to go back to this episode and find certain highlights. But I'm very devious because I set you up. That little Bond thing. Do you expect me to talk? That's going in. That's going in intro number 7, man. You're in.
That's embarrassing. I was just getting out my guitar. I think the best way to singing is the best way to get in your little promo. So I've had a couple of. I've learned a few songs on the ukulele for you this week. But I'm not going to play them because I'm rubbish.
Thank God.
Did you know that I went to school with Johnny? Just as a name dropping thing, because I love doing that. I went to school with Johnny Cash's grandson. How amazing is that? I could play you "Ring of Fire" right now.
Oh, I know. That was Petty, right? That was Petty Cash. Petty Cash.
Petty Cash. Oh, I like that. The reality, his name was the most boring name on the planet.
Mr. Cash.
No, his name was John. Johnny Cash's grandson's name is John. Boring.
Petty Cash. I prefer Petty Cash.
Petty Cash is brilliant. I'm using that
we have I don't know, we have 4 or 5 minutes left. The transition, right, of firecracker questions that were really about energy, that were about explosiveness, that were about energy. But underlying everything is this idea of hope, positivity, optimism, laughter, humor. I even have, because, it wouldn't be an episode of Corona TV if I didn't say to you, here's your quote of the day. Trouble knocked at the door, but hearing laughter hurried away.
Oh, I like that. Who said that?
Was our pal Benjamin Franklin said that as well. This is what we do to end the week on a high. This is what we do to close on this week, to close on whatever came before and focus on the only thing that we can do, which is focus on right now and focus on tomorrow. And it is an appropriate time to turn it over to the closer. Not just the closer, but the beer closer. What the hell is a beer closer?
So what you do, this is going to explode on my laptop, so I'm going to scoot back to my mid-riff Andrew Davis shot. So a Beernote closer. So I was doing a show, believe it or not, sponsored by Corona, at Cannes Lions. It's I called it Happy Hour game show, Happy Hour training, whatever. I did one show, got one under my belt, and then guess who popped on the train? It was Andrew Davis with his lovely wife, and I explained to him the concept, and I was like so apologetic about being this guy that's always wanting to add slides and do all this crazy last minute-y stuff. And I pitched this idea around constant curiosity and being able to be the guy at the end of a long, boring conference that summarizes all the themes, but everyone's relaxed. Instead of going home to their family, they crack open one of these bad boys and they just have a good time. And they learn, I didn't do that too well. They learn, I cannot multitask to save my life. They learn all the things that they soaked in a fun way. And even when I was summarizing Andrew and Anne Hanley in Boston, Anne mentioned the word dingleberry in her talk. I'm not going to give you the context, look it up. And I quickly, because I do this in real time, I looked on the interwebs, typed it into YouTube, and found the dingleberry dance. There is this dance called the dingleberry dance, and I can't do it for you now, but I taught an entire auditorium in Boston how to do the dingleberry dance. And because it brought back memories of Anne's electric performance, people were okay with me being a show-off because there was a point to it. And I guess where a Beernote closer goes wrong is when I'm just showing off and I'm not trying to honor everyone else, which is like, if we point back to Corona TV, If you just made this all about your sort of Jimmy Fallon ego or whatever, it wouldn't go down as well. And that's why we love it, because we get to shine, but we also get to make you look good in the moment. Blatant attempt to try to be on the promo there. With the
Bruce
gesticulation.
Eric Anderson says, John is the Jim Carrey, a Canadian of the marketing world.
I'll take that in this climate.
And Faith comes up with a firecracker request, and she says, I vote for more women and diversity in the promo if the strategic intent is to attract more of the same. That's a firecracker. And Faith has a firecracker.
Faith is straight up firecracker. That is,
And Faith, I'm pretty sure there's not much strategy in that promo at all. but having a good time is very strategic. And I think we're almost ready to go to the Zoom after show and have a little bit more fun together. But before we do, let's summarize. Let's do the beer close. What did we learn today? Sorry, let me rephrase that. Did we learn anything today?
Oh, my worry is no one ever learns anything when I talk. Can I give everyone one practical tip just to learn one thing?
You can.
Okay. I know you guys subscribe to a lot of different paywalls for under the paywall content. If you get Pocket and you go to that site and you hit save on Pocket, really quickly, you get to go underneath the paywall. I learned it this week when I was over preparing for you, Joseph, and it's changed my life. I've gone to all these expensive sites and I've just been bagging everything. So that's a practical tip.
Wait, it's an app? Is an app called Pocket?
Oh, everyone knows Pocket, right? Pocket is the only app to save your stuff. Sorry, go to getpocket.com. I make no money off of this. It's the app where if you ever come across an article that you want to read later, you save it to your Pocket. But if you save it to your Pocket quick on a paywall site, it beats the paywall and you get the whole thing.
I tell you what I learned today. What I learned today is that life is short. You have to have fun. And if your whole raison d'etre is about creativity, about ideas, about curiosity, about asking questions, tough questions, but different questions, you got to bring something different to the mix. And John, that's you to a T. You are different in the best possible way. Hold on. I feel like there's about a 3 iron about to hit that off as well.
That would have ruined my laptop. Thank you, Joseph.
But I hope people watching today enjoyed it as much as I did. So much so that we mixed it up. We broke some rules, and yet we followed other rules. We did a lot of prep today. More prep probably than I've done for any show in terms of technical support. And then, of course, you went and just, blew that whole thing up as well in terms of, hey, wait a second. I like this angle. No, I said, John, trust me, every additional step you take from now on is only going to lead to disaster. And I was right.
You were. Oh, the panic I put Joseph under with 2 minutes ago, because honestly, this is crap picture compared to my iPad. But sometimes you just shouldn't change things up in the moment. But that's why I do the Beernote, because it's okay, because everyone's drinking.
I want to put up the URL that you know what? We'll go only 1 or 2 minutes late, just so that I can say, by the way, John wrote a book called Newsjacking. And guess what? He contributed to this book called Digital Sport Marketing. He actually has done some pretty cool stuff, and he continues to do stuff. He's a virtual MC. He's a workshop facilitator. Give people plugs. Tell people what you do and how to find you and why to find you.
Why to find me is if you struggle with the transitions and you want to keep things up, I'm your transition guy. And also if your curiosity needs to be properly channeled, where to find me is on LinkedIn, typing in the name Jon Burkhart. It will lead to my new whiz-bangy website. I've been sort of down and out over Corona time, but that's why I'm coming out to Joseph here. So yeah, find me on LinkedIn, Jon Burkhart TBC on Instagram, and Jon Burkhart on Twitter.
I think I did all of those things. I'll do that again. I'll do that again. I'll do that again. I'll do that as well for you.
Wow. I wasn't even reading any of those things. Sorry.
I posted your Amazon link to the comments. I'm gonna just leave you with another of my good friends, maybe my best friend ever, Mr. Chuck Norris. And then, you know what? I'm not even going to play the outro. What I am going to do is I'm going to say, hey, guys, come and hang out with us for just another 25, 30 minutes. He's going to dress up like beer.
Like a can of beer.
This is the URL, bit.ly/CoronaTV after show. Yeah, we've got beer and poop emojis. What could go wrong? So I'm going to leave you with Chuck. And you know what? I'm not even going to play out with my usual outro. I'm going to play out with another outro, courtesy of Mr. Mark Masters, which actually shows you that you can be creative in any situation, in any circumstance, in any scenario. All you got to do is use your mind and use your heart. This is Joseph Jaffe, and you, my friend, are...
You are Chuck Norris approved.
We are the champions, my friends.
We'll keep on fighting till the end.
We are the champions.
We are the champions. No time for losers.
We are the champions of the world.
I'm just going to let you guys take it over. Take it over. Come on.
Well, you
Go, Glenn. Go, Glenn.
the lyrics.
I don't either.
The lyrics.
We lost.